Falling Down, the name of that one. It's the Birthday Massacre right here on the Tony Jones Show. Before that, you heard from Morris and the East Coast, and we kicked off the hour with some Jets Can't Land. TonyJones.org is my website, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter, at Tony Jones in RI. If you're catching us live, of course, I monitor the social media accounts throughout the broadcast, and some folks already checking in. Thank you for tuning in, hanging out, and checking us out live as we spin the best local music around. And, of course, a big thank you to everybody listening in podcast form. The name of that song, Falling Down, plays perfectly into what I want to tell you about was the fact that if you're catching us live, yesterday was Small Business Saturday, and I had a great opportunity to kind of go out and do a little small business tour. Now, I live in a very small business-centric area in the Wickford section of North Kingstown, Rhode Island, which is the Wickford shopping district. So that was my first stop. I went through Wickford. That's where we ate. Well, that's where I ate my first meal of the day, I should say. And then we hit some stores in that area, and I'm kind of friendly with a lot of the store owners, and they were doing well. Unfortunately, weather-wise, it was a little tough because it's an outdoor. It's almost like a Mystic, Connecticut type area where you have to be outdoors for the shop. But everybody was doing well despite the weather. And then a similar feel to that was where I used to live, which is the East Greenwich area. So we went through EG and went through a bunch of great shops down there. I found a new one on Duke Street, well, new to me at least, which is this great vintage shop that had some cool stuff. It used to be Pop, the Emporium of Pop Culture, and now it's called 146 Duke Station, playing into the historic aspect that used to be a train station on Duke Street in East Greenwich, and it's vintage, antique, and stuff like that. And I love. I mean, this is insulting to the owners, which is not the operation that they have going on. But I love junk shops, and I love to go through and dig, and I like to go to flea markets and things of that nature. So a great way to support local businesses year-round is I go through these type of shops all the time. But playing into Falling Down by the Birthday Massacre, the last stop of the day for Small Business Saturday was a private event that DJ Psycho Eddie from Mine and Out Radio was having at the Greenwich Cove Meadery, a mead tasting. He put on a nice spread of food, but for me that night, the concentration was on tasting all these different meads, from sweet to bitter to extremely hot. Even for me, I partook in the Dragon's Breath, which I have been hearing about for the past year and a half that they had been open. I've been hearing about the Dragon's Breath, and I finally was able to go down there and give that a try. And we ended up leaving with a big pint of the pineapple, which, you know, if you know me, you listen to the show, you know I like tiki drinks and things of that nature. So I'm looking to make up some concoctions with the pineapple. But it was great to finally get down there and try the Dragons. But did you have a favorite last night, Eddie, or something that was different that you tried?
All of it is my favorite, to be honest with you. I'm kind of partial to the orange, which he cuts up whole oranges in the batch, and the Granny Smith's Deception, where it tastes like apple, but there is no apple in it.
Yeah, that was, if you can remember the sour apple blow pop from when you were a kid,
exactly.
That's what this mead tasted like.
Those are my favorites. That's what I went home with a liter of each of those. And then I also got a half liter of the, what is it? The Ginger Bee. It was a sweet ginger mead. I went home with those three, and of course all the leftover food. So I was pretty much mooing by the time I went to bed.
Which, by the way, I did have your wife's brownies for breakfast this morning, being the grown-ass man that I am. Yes, it was a plate of brownies with my coffee. That's how I keep up this physique.
Well, as luck would have it, and you met my sister-in-law last night as well. She's very concerned with health and you know, eating right and whatever, which, you know, for the most part, a lot of people are.
Right.
Well, she was wanting to have a brownie, and the only way my wife could get her to eat one of those brownies is to say, which was the truth, they're all organic. And they were. They got them from Trader Joe's, one of their mixes over there. The only downside to those brownies is when you look at the instructions on the back, it's a stick of melted butter and 2 eggs. And that's all they put into those brownies to make them brownies instead of just powder. So, yeah, the brownies were very healthful, very healthful.
And I got to say, this is a business that we have been supporting around here at least since their very inception. If you're interested, GreenwichCoveMeadery.com is their website. If you're local, be sure to stop by there on Washington Street in Coventry. And no money changes hands. I mean, bottles of mead change hands, but no money changes hands. This is just legitimately a business here, small business, handcrafted, that we'd be loving for obvious reasons, but not just because they put out a great product, but because the owners are so passionate about what they do down there.
Well, I found out, and I'm going to try everything I can to change that. Rob is not really pulling that much of a profit right now because he's going out of his way to make sure he has the best quality honeys and ingredients going into the meads. So his profit margin is really low. He's paying his bills. He doesn't owe anybody anything, but he could use a little more business, put it that way. So my goal is to go there as often as I can and drink as much of whatever type of mead he has that I can, basically.
And just for the record, you live in walking distance, and I, in fact, had a designated driver last night.
Stumbling distance is what I like to call it.
In case anybody out there is concerned for our well-being. But that's GreenwichCoveMeadery.com. Be sure to check those guys out. Not only do we like to turn you on to the best local music, but we like to turn you on to the best local businesses. And you can get that if you can't catch them at the actual meadery, they're distributed through a few of the local package stores, and also at Manchester 65. You can buy it behind the bar over there. We're going to go back to, I got a double shot of some local music coming up for you. The unfortunately now defunct, I believe, Colourblind. I think they're defunct. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look that up on the old Facebook. We're going to hear 2 from Colourblind, starting with Abducted right here on The Tony Jones Show.
I just got abducted.
Spinning the best in local music right here on the Tony Jones Show, coming out of two from Colourblind, Clouded Dream, the name of that one. Then before that, we